Welcome to Genealogy Coffee Break, brought to you by us, the librarians at the Center for Jewish History. My name is Sarah Belasco, and I'm here with my colleagues. Today, we'll show you how to preserve your family photos and documents. During today's episode, feel free to send us your questions via the comments box, and we'll answer them live. If we don't get to your question or you're not watching live, you can always email your questions to us at gi@cjh.org. If you have friends or family who are interested in watching this program, please share it with them. The most important thing you can do to preserve your family photos and documents is to control the environment in which they are stored. Poor storage conditions can cause paper to yellow, ink to fade or bleed, photos to curl, and most seriously, mold to grow. What does climate controlled mean? The ideal environment is 68 degrees Fahrenheit with 40% relative humidity. But more important than maintaining those numbers is keeping the humidity and temperature stable year-round. Using a dehumidifier in your storage room in warmer months can be a cost-effective way of stabilizing the humidity. Furniture made of wood or wood composites emit acids and other substances that are harmful to paper and photos. Whenever possible, use steel or anodized aluminum shelving and cabinets to store your collections. The ideal place to store your precious items is in your home, in your living space, either on a shelf or in a cabinet that is a safe distance from windows, radiators, vents, and plumbing. Avoid basements and attics. Using non-archival quality enclosures will lower the lifespan of your collections, as these kinds of enclosures accelerate the physical and chemical degradation of their contents. A little later, I will discuss what kinds of materials are recommended for various types of enclosures. Measure the items you want to store before selecting their enclosures. Airflow is key because it prevents moisture and pollutants from getting trapped on your materials. Paper enclosures are more porous and therefore allow for greater airflow than plastic ones. For fragile items, the more you are able to see them, the less you will need to handle them and possibly cause damage. You should remove paper clips, staples, and rubber bands from items. But remember, if you are likely to do more harm by repairing an item, leave it as is. If you do not have a scanner at home, check to see if your library has self-serve scanners. Or you can use a digital camera or your phone to make digital copies of your materials. Give each file a descriptive name so that you can recognize them, and organize the files into folders based on meaningful categories, such as by family name or geographic location. Save all files in 3 places, such as on your computer, on an external hard drive, and to the cloud. That way, if your files in one place get damaged, they are still safe 2 other places. Check each storage device once a year. For physical storage devices, migrate your files to new devices every 2 to 4 years. To handle photos, we suggest wearing powder-free nitrile gloves. Bare hands can possibly leave fingerprints, and cotton gloves can possibly lead to tears and other handling problems. Photo storage options should be made with materials that have passed the PAT test. Plastic album pages should be made of chemically stable plastics like polyester or polypropylene and should not have coatings or adhesives. Avoid albums that are advertised as magnetic or self-stick. Also, avoid gluing or taping photos directly to the page. Instead, use photo corners. Can I flatten curled photos? No, you cannot. Leave them as is. Can I clean a dusty photo? No, you are more likely to cause damage than if you leave it be. Or if it is particularly dusty and damaged, then I suggest bringing it to a conservator who has been trained to repair such items. Do not store your documents like this. You will not be able to find anything and your items will get damaged. Documents should be stored flat, not rolled or folded. Documents tend to discolor and break along folds. Most documents can be safely stored in archival quality paper folders. The exception is brittle pages, which should ideally be stored individually in polyester sleeves. Folders or mylar sleeves should then be placed within archival quality paper boxes, never plastic bins. Paper folders and boxes are considered suitable for document storage if they are acid and lignin free and alkaline buffered. Acid and lignin causes paper to become yellow and brittle over time. The alkaline buffering helps neutralize the acids in your documents. Boxes should also not be packed too tightly. On the other hand, if there's too much empty space in a box, you should use spacers, polyethylene foam, or air pillow wrap to make sure your documents don't fold or curl. Documents that have been stored rolled or folded for a long period of time tend to suffer much greater damage if unrolled or unfolded. They should be left as is or brought to a conservator. Tape is the enemy of historical documents. Over time, most tapes yellow and damage the materials they are supposed to preserve. They also cannot be removed. Newspapers are also their own special kind of problem. From the mid-19th century onward, newspapers were printed on inexpensive, machine-made wood pulp paper that was not meant to last. As a result, they are especially brittle and should be isolated from other documents. The ideal storage enclosures for newspapers are archival quality flat boxes with lids. You should never use tape to secure items in a scrapbook. Scrapbooking options are very similar to the photo storage options that we discussed. We suggest using polypropylene or polyester page protectors or archival albums with photo corners. Old scrapbooks tend to be very fragile because the support pages are typically of lesser quality paper than the items affixed to them, and so they are more brittle. With old scrapbooks, DIY repairs may end up causing more harm than good. If the pages are already loose from the spine, you may also consider placing each page in a polyester or polypropylene sleeve, and then keeping all the pages together in their original order in an archival quality binder. Here are some places where you can buy the products that we have suggested using that will keep your family documents and photos safe. If you would like to learn more, here are some additional online resources. Thanks for watching and participating. Join us next Tuesday for the next Genealogy Coffee Break. For updates on this and other Center for Jewish History programs, you can join our email list at bit.ly/CJHE news. If you have additional questions or you'd like to suggest a topic for a future webcast, email us at gi@cjh.org. If you enjoyed this program, we hope you will consider making a donation at cjh.org/donate now. Your donations allow us to put on programs like this while the center is closed. Thank you for your generosity. Until next time, stay safe and be well.